Eats and eats and eats and treats.
Hello and welcome to Eats and Treats. My name is Marissa and today we're going to be making some gluten-free sugar cookies. First we start with our chilled dough. We've taken it out of the fridge and I lay it on my work surface. We sprinkle out a little bit of sifted powdered sugar so it doesn't stick to the work surface. I like to use powdered sugar as opposed to flour because it just sweetens the dough a little bit more and it doesn't dry it out. So we have our powdered sugar coated rolling pin as well. Now we're just going to roll out our dough. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle, but we're looking for the thickness. That's most important. We're looking for about 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch thickness. It's your preference. If you'd like a crispier cookie, I would go with the 1/4 inch. If you want a little softer, I'd go with the 1/2 inch. So we have some lovely Easter theme cookie cutouts here. We have a bird, a duck. We're going to start with that one. So you just place your cutter, go as close as you can to the previous cutout. We lay that on our greased sheet pan. Now we're going to bake these at 350 for about 8 to 10 minutes. You're looking for a nice golden brown on the edges and a nice firm center in the cookie. All right. Now once you've used all of the space within your dough that's already rolled out, just clump it all back together, form a ball, and you can roll out another batch. Some people say that you have to chill the dough, but it's not really necessary. You can just roll right out another batch and keep on cutting. Now we're going to pop these in the oven for about 8 to 10 minutes and we'll be right back with you. Alright, so we have our cookies here that are nice and baked. We allowed them to cool. We started with 1 pound of unsalted butter, room temperature, softened, and that's followed by a pound of sifted powdered sugar with a teaspoon of vanilla extract and about a tablespoon of milk to make it smooth and creamy. We're kind of in the final stages of our buttercream here. We're just going to give it one more good whip. Alright. Now we like to scrape down the edges, make sure that we've incorporated all of our powdered sugar into the frosting. Now I like my buttercream nice and smooth, so that's why we add the milk at the end. Now if you find when you're adding the milk that your frosting becomes a little too thin, you can just add a little more powdered sugar, or if it's still a little too thick and unmanageable, you can add just a hair more milk. Now I have a pastry bag all ready to go. We're going to begin to frost our cookies. Now I love this vanilla buttercream. It's just my favorite. Just sweet enough, but not too sweet. So I have a reusable, disposable pastry bag here. We fold over the edges, that way you don't get the frosting all over your hand while you're frosting, decorating. So now we'll just scoop a little bit into the pastry bag here. All right, we'll fold those edges back over, and we'll just push all that frosting down to the tip. Now first I like to do a nice smooth layer on the frosting of the cookie, and then we'll go ahead and do some attention to detail and add some accents to our cookies. Now while I'm frosting, I also like to use a cup of hot water. That will kind of smooth over the frosting, so you don't have to have it be perfect. You can kind of just fill in that little template there. So we'll make sure that we scrape off all that excess water. We'll take our spatula that was in some hot water and just smooth over those edges. That way you just have a nice outlining of whatever shape that you've decided to use. And you can do this with Easter eggs, whatever cutout that you prefer to use. So now that we have our base, we are going to add some coloring. We are using True Color. It is a all-natural dye gel paste. You start off by mixing a 1/4 teaspoon in a nice clear glass bowl with a 1/4 teaspoon of water. I like to mix the colors first and then fold in my buttercream. Make sure you have a nice paste there. Folding in all of the liquid with the dry. You don't want to have any clumps. That way all of the color is evenly distributed throughout the frosting. Now that we've folded in all of our color, we have a nice smooth paste. We are going to take a little bit of buttercream from our main bowl. Plop that in there. We're just going to make sure all of the color is fully incorporated. Now the colors are very true, especially for being a all-natural food dye. You start off with a more bold color, but as you fold in the buttercream, it softens it quite a bit. But I'm very pleased with these colors. Very, very true, almost looking like artificial colors, but with not all of the preservatives and additives. All right, so we have our green there. We're gonna move on to our purple. Very vibrant, as you can see. Now I like these small bowls because you can kind of just incorporate all of the color all in once. And you can kind of see that it's nice and clear, all incorporated. And we'll just grab another little buttercream from our main bowl. Continue to fold that in. Now these company, they use all natural dyes to color the dye. This purple one, beetroot, spirulina, and vegetable dye, which is just great. So if you have kiddos that you're, wanting it to keep all natural, or just for yourself, you don't want all of those chemicals and preservatives on your cookies, this is a great alternative. We'll take our plastic bag, we'll fold it over so none of the frosting gets on your hand when you're decorating. We'll go ahead and we'll put all this purple in here. Now I like to use the colors as accents and keep the white as my base. Now you can do whatever you'd like. You can use the purple as your base. I've done that with some of the flowers that I've cut out. You can, it's an open template. All right, we have our purple there. We're gonna be decorating our sugar cookies now. So I'm starting off with the vanilla buttercream first as our base. I've used some with the white, some with the pink and the purple and the blue. I like to have a big variety of different decorations. The great thing about sugar cookies is that it's a blank canvas, so you can make the design however you'd like. So first I start off with the outlining of whatever cookie shape that I have chosen. I like to leave a little bit of the cookie showing on the border. That definitely helps to show what the shape of the cookie is. And as you see, I've already started on all of my flowers here. We're going to decorate some with some sprinkles. We're going to do some fine decorating, fine detail decorating, so that way you can see the variety of options that you can decorate the cookies with. We're going to go ahead and we're going to smooth over those edges. Make sure you get off all of the excess hot water. We're going to take our spatula here. I like to move from the outside to the center. That way you're still keeping true to the shape of the outline. Just do nice and soft strokes. Don't press too hard. And if you notice that it's not smoothing as much as before, go ahead and just dip your spatula back into that hot water and just revisit that again. So now you have that nice smooth texture. We'll go ahead and we'll continue with the rest of these. Today we focused on Easter shapes, but you can do Easter eggs, you can do carrots. That's where that beautiful leaf bag will come in for your green. All right, so we are decorating our sugar cookies here. I have put some flowers together. We have some all-natural jelly beans and some all-natural sprinkles, preservative-free. So really you can just decorate the cookies however you prefer. I love these big sprinkles. Just plop them on there, just nice and fun, something the kids can do as well. It doesn't have to be perfect. Or also you can do your flour cookies. I've done a little more detail on those. So once you have your flat surface, I like to go back around and add a little more detail around the petals. You just kind of go around, you foresee where that frosting is going to come out. Go nice and slow, no rush here. Just kind of accentuate that shape there. It's nice because that base is just the bottom part. And then we can go back and we'll add a couple little yellow dots here. And the great thing about these is kids can do them, you can do them, however you prefer. Beautiful. And we also have some fun sprinkles here we can decorate the little doves with. Just make them fun. All right. Wow, there's our sugar cookies. I hope you've enjoyed watching and decorating. I hope you learned a couple tips, and definitely don't forget to enjoy. And thank you for joining me, Marissa Menth, on Eats and Treats. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Joy Holiday Channel. You can also follow us on Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, and Facebook. Please join us again as we have some delicious recipes on our Eats and Treats.